Many thanks for staying tuned. It's still the conversation here on Lagos Television. And of course, this morning, our first conversation will be around global leaders who shaped 2025. Of course, the year has been one of the defining moments for global politics, diplomacy, and economic realignment, from wars and peace talks to economic reforms and climate action. A number of world's leaders played decisive roles in shaping global events. And today on the program, we'd like to take a look at few of these global leaders. And of course, our guest here this morning, he's a friend of the house. And today, we'll be staying with his political affairs analyst side, Razak Olukoba. Thank you, Razak, for being here on the program today. Razak, before we delve into a few of the individuals that we consider as world's leaders who made 2025 really dynamic, in your own perspective, personal opinion, 2025 itself, many have described as a year of resilience, a year of mixed bag for individuals and for nations. In your opinion, in summary, how has 2025 played out for you?
Well, thank you very much. Just like you said, somebody has painted the picture of what the year is. I would like to add to it by also emphasizing that there was sharp ideological divide and a balance between what is called the capitalist and the communist world. And with periodic intervention from another ideological balance from the Middle East, which is the Islamic perspective. So these three ideologies shape the balance of what we see today. It shaped the Ukraine war, it shaped the Middle East crisis, and it also has its effects in the politics that we are playing in Africa. And if you look at it, it's either you tilt to the capitalist West or you tilt to the Eastern communism. And it affected in all the things we do. And which is why when you see what is happening in Africa today, particularly all the military leaders, they tilted to the Eastern bloc of communist Russia, China, and some of the countries that are extolling the virtues of the democracy seem to tilt to the Western world. And that was why many people do not understand the intervention in Benin.
Right.
The intervention in Benin is to stop the further incursion of socialism and the spread of communism in Africa. People don't see that and go to it. And that's why you see China and America also slugging it out on why will Nigeria have to intervene in that perspective. And so generally, ideological battle in 2015 became sharper.
Right.
Became sharper.
Okay. Of course, you've alluded to the fact that there was a sharp divide in, on ideology across the world. Let's start now by, looking at a few of the leaders. Of course, I will start with Xi Jinping, the president of China. We know that in 2025, China played a pivotal role in world trade, especially on global trade and then BRICS expansion, as well as a few other corporations here and there. We also know that in 2025, there was also the strategic positioning amid the US-China tension. Also, we can allude to the fact that in 2025, there was a bit of, but then there was a large influence of China's role on the African continent, as well as infrastructure financing. So in those angles that I've raised and how gradually China is becoming a powerful bloc, let's take a look at that personality, Xi.
The first 5,000 major corporations in the world, over 3,000 of it is now in the control of Chinese as a nation, either directly or by proxy. And that's a big table shaking for the Western world. You see, China has adopted a strategy of been thoroughly underrated.
Okay.
And it has worked for them.
Right.
They want to be underrated. And it is from that strategy they have gotten to the point they are today. They are not confrontational. They are not offensive in anything they do. But from that, the angle of conquering, stoop to conquer, is the method they have adopted, and it's working very, very, very well for them. Any serious thinker, political and economic thinker today, must look at the rise of China.
Okay.
Weigh the implication, weigh the merit. You read Chris Brown. Chris Brown is an author of international relations, and look at the shape of things to come.
Right.
In all the assessment he has done, he placed China first.
True.
Literally,
economically.
And that the politics of China is also influencing the rest of the world to the extent that nobody is willing to take democracy in the perspective of election every 4 years a day. The will of the people is the supreme, and that's what they are selling to the military boys in Africa.
Right.
That democracy is democracy in any form. You can be in uniform and still play your democracy, which is a dangerous tendency.
Right.
And that's why you see people warming up to coup. It's the will of the people. So that incursion of China has affected the entire world. And for us in Africa, we must be able to take what is good for us and be able to discard what is bad for us. What is good for us in the economy of China is that the Chinese has refused to be exploitative in their relationship, economic relationship with us. Loans that will turn you to slave of other country.
Yeah.
It's not the model that China is bringing on board. It is a loan that will build your economy and that will see you as equal to them.
Right.
That's what China is bringing on
So
board.
it's not about impoverishing other nations at their own expense.
Yes, and the Paris Club, the World Club, the London, all these international money lenders are also beginning to redefine the content of their agreement with the nations.
Right.
Because they know that gone are those days when you say if you don't work with our model at a sharp and
Contrast.
all those recommendations, we are not going to be getting low. China just came from an angle that they cannot deny again. So the influence of China is a major thing in the world. Like I said, the world is spreading a air of relief because of their model.
Okay.
The world has seen that a developing nation has learned how to take a shortcut to development.
Right.
If you look at the loans and
the other models that they followed, okay?
That Chinese is bringing now. Once you make your demand, Chinese will make it available for you.
Right.
For so long in Nigeria, we have been talking about railway because once you have exhausted the road network in terms of the number of portion for road construction, you switch your alternative, which is rail, which is what we are doing in Nigeria. But for so long, we've been talking to the Western world. We need more railways. They have not been listening to.
But China has done
and did it. So these are things that is happening not only in Africa,
right,
it's
but also
happening all over the world.
Right. Before we leave China as an example here, for some reason we know that the U.S. has always been the superpower, but China right now is giving them a run for their money. Is there anything to worry about? Is the U.S. also behind closed doors shivering at the steady rise of China?
They have to shiver because China, they really do not want to play the number one in economy and military because it's a responsibility. Once your currency becomes the legal tender of the world, it comes with its own danger for your own economy.
Okay.
China didn't have the structure on ground to take up that position.
So they didn't fight for that.
So they didn't fight for that. So where they are is where they want to be.
And they want to protect that territory.
So they want to be number two because number one has a lot of
global responsibilities, right.
consequences for being number one. The economy is in shambles. It is your country people who come and run to it. It's your country that immigration will come. It is your country that you define citizenship model.
Yeah.
That backlashes oftentimes.
Okay.
That once they burn. So China is where they want to be. So America knew already that they are in a big problem. Before, America is less than 5% of the world population. Yeah. But it's consuming half of what the world is producing. That was
the moment. Okay.
That was then.
All right. Let's leave China now because of time, and let's quickly go to another individual whom a lot of people have also seen as quite powerful. And you can't look at 2025 without talking about Vladimir Putin of Russia, especially because of now, you know, the longevity of the Russia-Ukraine war, as well as the energy politics and global oil markets that Russia is also fronting for. And we do know that Russia is also in strategic partnership with non-Western nations. Let's look at the man, Vladimir Putin.
You see, it's a long battle between the East and the West, like I said earlier. The crisis the rest of the world seem to have with Russia, particularly the Western world, is ideological. It's not because particularly they hate Putin. The economy of the world is being given direction by the capitalists. And communists are giving them a run for a fight for that. And that's all of that thing that surrounds it is just by the way.
Yeah.
So Russia has a very close ally that is besides America, which is Cuba. America has a very close ally, which is Ukraine. So people who don't seem to understand the game the two countries is playing needs to seek for some knowledge, academic knowledge, because the survival of any nation does not only depend on the capacity it has itself, but also its relationship with the rest of the world. And the rest of the world then means that the economic ideology of each country must be adopted
in your own system
by Cuba, by all the countries around that Russia is trying to become a tutor in Africa. And that is a very big challenge to Africa, because capitalism runs on collaboration. If America cannot collaborate with the rest of the world, capitalism will crumble. American economy will crumble. So there's no way you want to look at it, that if you want to talk about military might, Russia is there, is giving America a fight in that angle. Then China again is there. Then India seems not to be unsure of which direction it wants to go, though it's in BRICS. But India seems to be dangling between today and for America, tomorrow and for Russia. But come to think of it, Putin is becoming stronger every day. The fight between Russia and Ukraine is essentially a fight between Putin and America and the whole and more than half of Europe. And it's standing strong. That gives us an impression that Putin militarily and Russia has been ascribed to be the strongest in the world. I do not see any country that can face that kind of challenge, even America, and still be standing on this way. So for me, the man of 2025, I want to say
Vladimir Putin.
Putin.
Okay, let's look at the man who thought he had the powers to sway the mind of Vladimir Putin. But at the end of the day, it was blown out, and they figured, you know what? I thought this guy was my friend, but it doesn't feel like this guy is anybody's friend. I'm talking about Donald Trump. Of course, Donald Trump has brought, so many dynamics to his government in the U.S. and also looking at other parts of the world. For you, what made Donald Trump a man to watch out for in 2025?
Well, Donald Trump has a very strong character and very smart. You
and a bit of comic character in him as well.
Yeah, and that's why he's always having his way. That you think he's not committed to whatever he says, but there's nothing he says that you don't see him going after.
Right.
And he says what he wants to do ahead, including coming to Nigeria for the military intervention. He did so. The only time I knew he may have gotten it wrong is on Putin, like I have said.
Right.
Putin was the head of KGB. And Putin, from what we have seen in his engagement with America, he has not forgiven America for leading a path to the breakup of the Soviet Union.
Right, the USSR.
When Soviet Union was swamped, Putin was the head of KGB. He did a lot of military intervention all over the world, including here in Africa. And despite that, Russia still remains the biggest country in the world. But one union as a whole has commanded a lot of respect for which was a threat to America. So they broke it all. And as for Trump, I just hope that by the time Putin is, Trump is
finishing his tenure
as the president, I hope America's image in the world will not be as bad as you can imagine. The role he played in Israel and what appears to be a double standard with what he's doing in the rest of the world has created a lot of dent in the image of Trump, because today, if you look at the war between Israel and Hamas,
right,
you know clearly that Trump decided to look away from
what's going on,
because Israel has become a base for America's operation, and no matter the crime they have committed, they are looking away. In the United Nations today, the type of respect that America commands here in the UN has thoroughly waned, and it has to do majorly with what they are doing in Israel. So by and large, Trump still remains a very strong
global leader
in the politics of
the world.
And the rest of the world knows clearly that the image of America before Trump came on board has thoroughly there's a reflection upon it.
Okay.
Whether people should continue to look towards America or whatever they want to look for, but they still remain to occupy the space they occupy, and I hope that space will still be available for them when Trump leaves office.
Okay, let's quickly look at the man Emmanuel Macron, the president of France. We know that also in 2025 there were a couple of steps that he took, looking at the autonomy for Europe, looking at, of course, Africa-Europe relations. You know that Emmanuel Macron is a good tool for our own president, Bola Tinubu, and of course he's also been at the forefront of diplomatic efforts with the EU. But for you, what were some of the things that Emmanuel Macron did in 2025 that set him aside? Well,
Europe is lucky to have Macron. At the moment, Europe is facing a lot of challenges. Countries in the world no longer refer to Europe, and that's thoroughly affected the economy of Europe. The fight that is going on in Ukraine has depleted the resources in Europe.
Right.
And that's why if you go to Europe today, the situation there is tense economically. But because of Macron has a style that has created a buffer for Europe. He tried to mend the relationship between Europe and the rest of the world, and that's why the crack did not appear so much. When Burkina Faso parted way with France, and many African countries parted way with France, automatically it's supposed to have serious consequences on the economy of France. But because of Macron is a smart leader, so he's able to quickly create alternative for France. And in the global politics, he's a courageous person because he looked up to Trump and told Trump that we will have to give Palestine their freedom.
So, right.
age-long leadership of France has also been able to sustain by Macron, because if you look at Europe, people who sustain Europe, what country? France, Britain, Germany, and Italy are the countries that sustain Europe. But Europe, Britain has its own challenge at the moment. Italy has been battling with it for so long. And Germany is not too open to allow you to use its own resources to develop Europe. It's always been France that is carrying the entire burden of Europe's survival on this area, and he has done very well.
He has done really well. Even though I was going to ask, even though you mentioned it in passing, his influence, especially on the Francophone African countries that have had to go through coup and now under military rule, they've also been that break in transmission between France and those countries. And so if you look at the influence of Macron in those places, one would have expected that, you know, the influence of France could have still had an impact on those countries. But you explained minutes ago that perhaps that's why, you know, that crack wasn't felt as badly as it should have been. But he did well in that wise. Okay, let's quickly come on to the African continent and, of course, look at our own president here, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In 2025, not only, of course, his intervention in the country, but also on other countries on the continent, looking at his role in ECOWAS, looking at his role especially also at a few summits, the BRICS summit, the climate change summit. What for you, you know, made him one of the leaders perhaps to reckon with in 2025?
And that is why the younger people need some level of education in this regard. You see, Africa would have been a bigger disaster if Tinubu had not come on board.
Right. Because
the crisis with the coup team, when our own president was the ECOWAS president, the way the president managed that crisis is a big intervention that the whole of Africa should appreciate what he has done.
Okay.
Because if the president had addressed the issue along militarily, we'll be fighting the war up to now. And there will be countries that will be loyal to Nigeria in Africa, countries that will be loyal to, and they will be selling arms to both of us.
Right.
So by now, we will be recording humanitarian crisis directly, not by processes like Somalia, Sudan, like that, in the whole of Africa. But because the president understands how to engage the tool of diplomacy, he averted that.
Okay.
Now, in Benin Republic, the coup that happened there, we don't know what the president did. It's great that if you check your textbook these days, or your Facebook these days, people are profiling past military leaders. There are some people somewhere promoting that angle. That military is one of the best. Military is this, is that. So, but because we have a leader in Nigeria that is the president of Nigeria, Nigeria has enormous influence, and he has employed that influence very, very positively to help Africa. If you see any crisis in Africa today, if they were able to resolve it, Tinubu has a hand in it. Mention any of it. And that is why when Buhari was there, he was doing that real connection between us and Nigeria and some other country. And now Sanwo-Olu and Tinubu is also doing the coastal road, particularly paying attention to Badagry Road. It's not because you just want to have a good road. It's because the crisis in Africa, the solution to it is unity. And that's what Tinubu is trying to pursue. That when your neighbor is having sleep problem with his sleep.
Yes, you can't also sleep.
You can't also sleep.
Right.
Oh, and that's what the president is doing. So that even if you are okay in Nigeria, the rest of African continent must also be okay. So when you see the young people, when the political class inside them, so that our president is just traveling up and down, the world has gone beyond when you remain in your own country and think you are going to survive. They are discussing climate change now. Climate change is a crisis created majorly by people, and it's affecting all of us. Perforation of ozone layer has led to acidic rain. Acidic rain is causing a challenge to all of us. And pollution, which is majorly coming from developed countries of the world, is causing a lot of problems, leading to global warming. In the Arctic, ice as big as Africa has caved. It's leading to surge, where we are not supposed to be seeing flood.
Okay.
So, if you have a leader that does not understand that terrain very well, it's going to mess up Africa.
Right.
So, the president is using our resources to support African cause, just like what Gaddafi did for us on GSM.
Okay.
Gaddafi brought GSM, not Obasanjo. We were paying for £400 million to have access to that 090 those days, cellular. But when Gaddafi came, he suspended it and launched African satellite with $500 million, and he paid $300 million. The rest of Africa bought into it, and that's the picture Tinubu has.
Okay.
Tinubu is doing his own through diplomacy.
Yeah.
He was not as confrontational as Gaddafi is doing, and he's succeeding.
Okay.
You see, if you sustain the template laid down by Tinubu now, in the next 20 to 30 years, we are going to come out of a crisis in Africa, and we are going to become the maker of the rest of the world.
Okay.
Nigeria only has 4% of the world resources residing in our country.
Yeah.
Now imagine what Africa as a continent to have. Almost half of the resources of the world. If there's no unity in Africa,
in that
there's
vein,
no how you are going to use that resources for yourself. And that's the direction Tinubu is going, unity of Africa.
Yeah, so in that vein, I'd like us to also quickly talk about Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa, who's also championing the BRICS cause and also championing climate change issues. And we know that, of course, as much as he's also trying to do this, is one of the leaders that even in the midst of all he's doing, his countrymen are not quite appreciative, just like, you know, we are facing here in Nigeria. But if we look at what he's doing and how a combination of a Cyril and a Tinubu will bring onto the continent.
Another good guy, Ramaphosa, because if you look at the position they took on Israeli-Palestinian crisis,
right? They called out Trump,
and so he had a clear political understanding of what the country should be doing in the international scene. Then in Nigeria too, virtually, maybe it is now lack of courage now that really allowed them to move beyond where we are today. But they are doing it gradually. But in Ramaphosa, I see him as a good, what Footballers would call as a good midfielder. They need Nigeria to play the front role in uniting Africa. But Ramaphosa is also a midfielder in this, right? Because he's the country that is talking to other African countries on the need for us to speak as one.
Yes.
Why must I want to trade with you as a country? And I first go to America to go and buy their dollar, or their pounds.
When we as a continent
with my neighbor,
exactly.
Why do I want to talk to you? I might call you first, go to London
before it comes back.
And you know, when Africa was the leader of the world, we were not like this. We didn't shed blood like this.
There was unity of purpose.
When we were almost slave owners, we first enslaved the white people. When we enslaved them, we were mature, we were civilized. And that image of Africa is the problem of the rest of the world. They know the reputation of the black people.
Once there's unity.
Yes, once there's that unity, that reputation will come back to full. And that's why, when we have this kind of occasion, we should not miss it by encouraging Tinubu to do more. By encouraging the likes of Ramaphosa to do more, Ghana, and all those countries that appears very eminent and influential in Africa, that they need to hasten
Africa's unity.
African unity. That's going to be the solution to Jackpot syndrome. That's going to be the solution to capital flight. That's going to be the solution to many problems that is combating us as a nation. If we don't unite, we are virtually going to end nowhere. And 2025 is a big signal to the fact that we have realized the importance of that unity. Right.
I'm going to lump two people here because, of course, both of them, you know, are leaders in their own right in the same field. But while we have one as, you know, an international coordinator, the other one coordinates football on the continent. I'm talking about Gianni Infantino, FIFA president. and Patrice Motsepe of South Africa. Currently, of course, AFCON is going on, and we see, his pivotal role there. So let's talk about global unity, economic impact of football internationally as well as on the continent.
Well, the two institutions has managed entertainment very well.
Sports and entertainment?
Yeah, sports and entertainment. They have managed it very well to such an extent that it has become something like an ideology, a religion now. Football. And for me, I think the part and the sacrifice that brought them to this point should be appreciated.
Okay.
Just close your eyes and remove LASMA in Lagos. That's then you know the importance of that sector.
Yeah.
Just close your eyes and remove football in our life. I don't watch football much.
Okay.
But it has become a consolation to many people all over the world. And the management of sport is being handled by people who are actually experts, because it's no longer sport. It's not becoming showbiz.
Right.
So you entertain yourself and you also make money.
True.
Just like in transportation. It's not a body, because in Lagos there will be ticketing, there will be parking. That's what football has become too. Football has become not only an entertainment but also a venue for people to make money. I don't see a singular sector that one individual is making as much money as football players are making. And for us in the world today, this is one of the institutions in the world, our sector, where everybody across the globe will unite.
Yeah.
You see one player is going to have followers across the world.
True.
In Africa, in Asia, in Europe, in America, one. So it means that it is not a coincidence.
Right.
It's management.
Yeah.
And year in, year out, strategies are real out to ensure that that image of football is not decimated.
Yeah. Okay.
There's no war that can decimate it. There's nothing that will happen. People must still watch football. The Nations Cup, they say it's going to be every 4 years now. And it's part of the strategy I also spoke about, that they want to give room for exchanges.
Okay.
In Africa, between Ghana, between Nigeria, for those 4 years. You see Nigerians go, they don't want to be gathering everywhere every 2 years.
Okay.
They want countries of the world to go to each other's country.
To have enough time to plan
it's called
and develop.
sporting exchange program.
Right.
So that when countries of the world, when we go around Africa to know each other, intermarriages will happen.
Okay.
Business transactions will be conducted. So it is a way of coming back to what we have said.
Right.
That every strategy must be employed to unite Africa. And that's what I think what CAF had in mind.
Right. Okay.
When they did that.
Okay. Very quickly, before we wrap up this conversation, I'd like for us to look at two women, for me, that also made 2025 quite impactful. Talking about wife of the president, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, in the area of social and humanitarian leadership, and of course looking at Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala of the World Trade Organization. Of course, that is talking about global stability in trade. These two women, in your own opinion, what did they bring to the table?
If you want to marry, I think you should
marry right.
Marry right. So I would say that our president has married right, because no single crisis when the woman was the first lady here in Lagos. 8 years. When she was a senator, no single scandal. So I am not shocked that she's doing well now. She's complementing everything the husband is doing.
Right.
And that's what we need as a mother. That's what we need as a first lady. That's what we need as a leader mother, who is going about to mentoring not only young girls, but all the young people in this country. Is telling the young people that there should be a role model. There are first ladies in the rest of the world, or probably maybe in Nigeria, Africa, that people will say, I don't want to live my life like this. But there's no young lady that will see Remi Tinubu that will not pray to God that and this is a good mentor and it's a role model. That's what we want. And that's why the men ought to see also that as an inspiration. The women should be more united. Give yourself more leadership role. We are not your problem. Men are not your problem. 30% to women is a weakness. Take more leadership role. We want to see more of Remi Tinubu.
Okay.
He has
Women
impacted
participation.
the life of Nigerians more positively.
Okay.
He has explained the policy of his husband in the most simplest way for market women to understand.
Right.
For all the others to understand.
Okay.
And for Ngozi Konjo-Iweala, I'm not sure that she's doing well. She has a background that
an antecedent that speaks for her.
Happening today should not be a shock today.
Yeah.
What Trade Center? For someone to be sitting there as a leader or the chairman of that
organization
tells you that it's not a coincidence. And that's why the young ladies today must aspire to be like you, my sister. I'm talking about you now.
Okay, yeah, okay. So,
it's not about going to social media and teaching young ladies how not to be good wife in their husband's house. No. You've been handling this program for quite some time. I don't know who has inspired you. But young ladies should look at people who are living a very decent and good life like you, and people like Konjo-Iweala.
Right.
That there's no barrier to a woman becoming whatever she wants to become in life if you are determined. And look at the path they took before they got to where they have. So they shaped positively. The two of them shaped positively.
Okay.
To 2025. And we just hope that they will be able to sustain that in 2026.
Right. Let's quickly look also at one man here, of course, in Nigeria that we can also slip into this list, and that would be business mogul Aliko Dangote. Of course, he's been dynamic in his business approach in 2025, and of course, we've had to buy fuel now. If you're able to queue, you will definitely buy fuel at about less than 800 naira in some filling stations. For you in 2025, why would we consider Aliko Dangote as a leader that shaped this year?
And I think all of us must appreciate what Dangote is doing. We have to build a barricade around him. We have to defend him. The whole of Africa should be proud of him. In fact, he ventured into a business he knew before he got into it that he's looking for trouble. He knew that he was not going there to look for money.
Okay.
He is going there to sacrifice himself for the nation. And to that extent, too, as a private person in Nigeria, there's nobody that merited that award or 2025 Man of the Year than Dangote. He stand by us. The guy is committing a class suicide. He's not sitting where people will make from the pains and the sweat of Nigerians. So you see what he's doing recently? He's saying that I'm going to distance myself from you if what you want me to do is to put Nigerians through pain because I want to make money.
Yeah.
He told people the history of his life and said that I venture into business not because I want to make money. I have a passion for it to change the life of people, and he has lived up to it in 2025.
Okay. Yeah.
And see the fluctuation. So it reflected his sincerity. That I am sincere that I'm coming into oil and gas business because I want to bring relief to life of Nigerians.
Right.
Once the oil and gas sector crisis has been sorted out,
then half of our problem
will begin to fall in place. The power sector will fall in place. Transportation is going to have its own effect on rent, the food we eat, and the man is doing very well.
Yeah.
We must not allow them to send him to the guillotine. We must protect him. We must ensure that his business grows. Things are fighting back for him. I know very well that the most challenging year he has lived in his life
will be 2025.
2025 one of it.
Okay.
The way they have come for him locally, the way they have come for him internationally. Oil and gas sector is one of the sectors that has its own challenges far bigger than even drug and narcotics. Right. They have sank nations because of oil and gas. What is happening to Maduro of Venezuela today? Yeah. It's oil and gas. You even learn that Palestine, the Gaza Strip, has a section of it that contains a very large deposit of oil. The same thing in Afghanistan. So for him to be standing on his feet, we have to give him kudos. We have to
Right.
commend him. We have to make sure we do everything to make sure he succeeds. And that's why I have noticed that every committed Nigerians who want good for us has been on the side of Dangote.
Of Dangote.
One of them is President Tinubu.
Right.
The president appears to be standing with him that you are not going to allow anybody to decimate you. So we give kudos to what
He's doing.
And in the list of the private sector is my man of the year.
He's your man of the year.
Man of the year.
As we wrap up this conversation this morning, we've mentioned a couple of world's leaders that have made 2025 the year that it has been. But of course, we know that without the role of the citizens of the countries of these leaders, or the workers, or those who are closely knitted to them, we probably will not sit here and talk about their success story in 2025. So when we talk about human capacity, when we talk about citizens' role in nation building, how do you wrap up on that note?
I'm happy that we are getting a clearer understanding of what our role should be as citizens. We now know more than before that it's a shared responsibility. That government must play its role, the system must also be made effective, and the people must learn to supervise their government.
Okay.
Our employee. If you give your vehicle to a driver, you must also supervise. You must not be under the assumption that he knows how to drive. And we are doing it very well. We're giving direction to the president. We're telling him this is what you should do. If you want security to be okay, forest police is on board, but it's not a replacement of state police, but it's a template for us to have a solid institution, which is the state police. We want it. In the power sector, the state should pick up that responsibility to ensure that they are in line. So citizens are owing up to you. And of course, there are people who also feel that it's not doing well. That is also legitimate also. Once we are able to do it in a way that is going to promote unity in Nigeria and lead to progress of our great nation. It's fine. So for me, 2025 has been a year Nigerians has show enough patriotism and positive citizenship.
Okay.
And in the coming year, which is 2026,
Right.
we should be more committed to it. We should be asking more questions. We should be giving more direction. We should be talking now more to our local government chairman that you have more money at your disposal. What's happening to our drainages, our garages, our market, what's happening to them.
Okay.
We must also compare them in 2026 that you must be able to show clearly that you are willing to complement the good work of the federal government
And the state
and the state government by giving us more service, giving the kind of resources they have at their disposal. It's our duty as citizens.
All right, we'll have to leave this conversation here this morning. Thank you so much, Razak Olukoba, for finding time to be with us here on the program this morning. Of course, Razak has taken us through his own perception of why the individuals we have highlighted today, of course, are some of the leaders that shaped 2025. Hopefully, we'll see more of these leaders in 2026, and we'll see them bring more wealth of experience to bear. And like he said, in 2026, as citizens, we must begin to ask more questions and begin to hold our leaders more accountable. We'll take a break. When we return, Joy will be here with her Lagos conversation.